Okay, I'm going to show you how to make a playlist using either Raven Lite or Audacity or Arbimon. There's other ways to do this, but I'm just going to show you some simple tools for doing that. So this is a recording I made a couple of years ago in spring, 5 minutes with just my iPhone. And I'm just going to play a little snippet of it. So there's a lot of birds in there. And this goes on for several minutes, lots of different birds. There's a dawn chorus going on. I'm going to stop this. The first thing when you want to edit sounds, you probably want to zoom in to see them a bit closer. At Raven Lite, I usually don't view in this waveform, but I'm going to just keep it up here because it's a default of what you see when you first open it up. But once I start to zoom in on 1 minute chunks of time, you can start to see patterns. Like I see this pattern right here. And that is a crow. And then right here, we have a purple finch singing. So say I want to add the crow to my playlist. I can select that section of the recording that has the crow. I can click edit and I can copy it. And then all I've got to do is start a new sound window. And then I can paste that clip into my sound window. And I can go back and forth between my other recording. Let me find another set of sounds here. Okay, that's an American robin. Say I want to include that. I can just keep doing that and going between the different sound windows. And so I can make a spliced, essentially, playlist of the different sounds that I want to make, that I want to play. So there's 10 sounds that I want to play back. So that's one way. So you're basically making, you're taking pieces of sounds that you want someone to hear, and you're copying and pasting them. You can also copy and paste them as individual files and save each one individually, and then play each file individually if you want as a playlist. So that's in Raven Lite. In Audacity, it's basically the same process. Audacity always opens sound files in waveform, and so if you use this drop down, you can view them in spectrogram. I prefer to see them in spectrogram for bird sounds. And again, I'm going to zoom in on, and I can actually make this a little bit bigger too, this window. There's that same crow that I had selected in the previous. And so you can do the same process. Actually, I need to select this first. And so in Audacity, it doesn't select, you're not getting a selection that's just a box. You tend to be getting, well, it looks like there may be an option for the box here. And so I'm selecting this crow, edit. I'm going to copy it. And I want to open a new window in Audacity, and I paste it in. So now I have that there. And if I want to splice the sounds together like I did in Raven Lite, I just keep selecting these sounds. I think this may be the robin. Okay. So I can select this robin sound. And go back to my other Audacity window and paste. And the nice thing with Audacity is you can actually leave a little space between the sounds, and that tells you I'm moving from one sound to the next. So if I play, I'm going to change this to spectrogram view. If I play everything that's pasted here, go back to the beginning. Okay. That's how I start to build a playlist. Now, if you're just using Arbimon, it's a little bit different, and what's meant by a playlist is a little bit different. So I'm going to go into Arbimon right now and go into recordings. And so say I have some annotated sounds that I want to take those 1 minute chunks. And so the way you're going to have to do it in Arbimon is just to have a subset of the 1 minute recordings that Arbimon chunks out to play. And you're going to want annotations in there. And so I'm going to start first by filtering by my recordings. And I'm going to actually filter again to the year 2020, because I uploaded a recording. It was made at the same spot, and it's that same recording we were listening to in the previous examples. So I'm filtering it down. That was a 5 minute recording, a little bit longer than 5 minutes, and it was broken into 7, I think 1 minute pieces here. And so I can look at these chunks of sound. Actually, I'm going to escape out of that because Arbimon tends to sort by the earliest one is at the bottom. So I'm going to go there and I'm going to find this crow sound and the American robin sound. So I think they're both in this first 1 minute. Right here. Okay, and so in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create an annotation here. And I'm going to use my standard labeling, my initials, and an American crow. And then here, I believe, is the robin. So let's listen to that. Yep, so I'll select the robin. And if you have so many annotations that this isn't going to help to, oh, I want to pull up that American robin then that I annotated. As you hear ones that you really like, you might type playlist in there so that it's a cue that you want that to be part of the playlist. Okay. Oops, gotta save it. Okay. Now I'm going to just find some sounds in another recording so that there's actually multiple recordings in this playlist. Okay. So let's listen to this snippet. There's what we call handling noise, somebody walking, maybe. Okay, that one's nice. That's a purple finch right here. And so I'm going to add an annotation here and call this purple finch. And again, if you don't know what the sounds are, that's okay. You're just going to annotate it with your initials and say, really nice sound. Okay. And part of what we'll be doing when we share these sounds would be helping to figure out what they are. Sometimes it's useful to describe the sound as well. So I've annotated that. Okay, so I might go through and do that for each, I might have 10 different 1 minute chunks where there's some really neat sound that I want to share. And so once I have annotated them, I can go back into the filters. Okay, and I've I'm going to reset them all. We have a large number of recordings. Not all of them I want to include in the playlist. If I know which site, I can enter the site. And if I know that there's some keyword, well, it doesn't show, it's not popping up playlist for me. So I have to do Allison Styring here, or AS. I'm going to filter this now by my site. And then by the year, because I know this is from 2020. And then I'm going to find the tags. I know that there was an American crow. I'm probably going to have to refresh this, I think. It must not be taking my new annotations. Yes, I had to hit refresh so that Arbimon knew that I had entered new information. So let's try this again and see if I can just filter by the word playlist. Yes. So if I type in playlist, that will give me the recordings where I said, okay, I want that to be part of my playlist. Now, you may need your initials in there as well to get everything. If everybody's typing in playlist, or you have some code word that you can use so that you can filter down your recording. So I have that filter set, but really what I want to do is take these apply these filters, and I want to save them to a playlist. And I'll just call it Allison's playlist. Save and close. And so once I've done that, I can then go into playlists, and I can actually view my playlist. So the playlist is right here, but really then you go back into recordings once you want to share it, and you're going to filter by playlist. And I'm just going to say that here's Allison's playlist, and I'm applying that filter. And then what you're left with is just the recordings that have the annotations you want to include. So the meaning of playlist is a little bit different in these contexts, but basically it's a way of reducing down sounds to just a subset of ones that you think are really good or worth sharing for some reason. And that's that.